Now, obviously, one of my favorite movies of this year so far, not my absolute favorite, but one of my favorite movies of the year so far has been Superman. I mean, I'm still floored by the level of success it was able to have, considering the circumstances it had coming into this world. But now it's going to hit its next milestone. We already talked about the success it had at the box office. It ended up being profitable. It won all the audience back, or at least a lot of the audience back. Then it hit VOD, and it started shattering all kinds of VOD records. Like, remember, this was a movie that made $615 some odd million at the box office. And it had more VOD sales than Deadpool and Wolverine, a $1.3 billion film, did. And now comes its next step. As according to Variety, Superman now has its streaming date. And it's this week. It's Friday. They write the following. Superman will fly onto HBO Max on September 19th. Writer-director James Gunn announced on his social media pages. The film earned $615 million at the worldwide box office over the summer, making it the year's highest-grossing comic book movie so far. Warner Brothers released Superman in theaters worldwide on July 11th. Its opening weekend, the comic book tentpole grossed $125 million at the domestic box office and remained the number one movie in the world for 2 weeks until Marvel's The Fantastic Four: First Steps dethroned it at the end of the month. All right. This is interesting because with it opening July, August, September, we're talking about almost 3 months, 2.5 months. So that's like a 65, or 70, 75 day window it gave before it went to streaming. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to be very curious, Rob, to see how it does. Like when Samba and others give out their numbers, on the streaming numbers, I'm going to be very curious to see how it does once it hits HBO Max and where it ranks in the world as far as on the top movies chart. Because again, those VOD, and we talked about the VOD numbers, those VOD numbers were staggering, like absolutely staggering. And it's going to be interesting to see whether, hey, everybody who was interested in watching at home already bought the VOD and maybe it doesn't stream so well. Or does it become the biggest streaming movie on HBO Max in the last couple of years? I mean, I honestly don't know. I think it could go a lot of different ways. Rob, you see this. It's coming out this Friday. It's going to be on streaming, available for everybody to watch. What are you expecting from the streaming numbers for it? Do you think they'll be big? Do you think maybe they won't be so big? What's your takeaway from all this?
Well, I think they're going to be huge, just like the VOD numbers. You know, people are going to sit down and watch this. Families are going to watch it. People are going to watch it multiple times. Kids will watch it multiple times because it's that kind of a movie. But what I think is really smart about this strategy, and again, I don't know much about this. I'm just speculating. But in terms of, so the movie makes $615 million. You put it right on VOD. It becomes a big hit on VOD. I bet they probably took in another $100 million on VOD. Then they get whatever the licensing fee they get for the film. They add all those numbers up. Because once it's off VOD and it goes directly to streaming, let's call that revenue stream. Then, of course, you got the physical media and how well it does there, but it's not going to be a huge number. But the revenue stream kind of comes to an end. But so in the space of July, August, September, Superman returned a lot of cash to the studio. Let's call it $750 million. Not bad. So if you're looking in terms of how much revenue the DC universe has brought in very quickly, it shows that the DC universe, based on the theatrical release and the ancillary markets, has done quite well. And so that additional income from various other sources shows that this is very viable. The DC universe is alive and well. And you could go to, you know, whoever your bankers are, your investors are. You're like, look, this one movie generated this much money theatrically, this much money on VOD, and this much money with a licensing fee in the space of 3 months. So that's the kind of thing shareholders and studio bosses like to tout, like to hear. So I think it was really smart. This quick, you know, you make your money, hit and run, boom, boom, boom. Now you're like off to the races. Then Lanterns, then Peacemaker, and then Supergirl.
Which so I'm looking forward to. By the way,
Clayface.
And Clayface. By the way, I saw somebody in the live chat asking, is it true Ariana Grande is going to be Clayface? No. We can put that to rest. No. Anyway, guys, we want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, PrizePicks. Look, you and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right actually means you win. And with football back, there is no better time to get in on the action. You guys know I've been using PrizePicks for a while now, and it's honestly the most fun I've had engaging with the new football season already. For example, this weekend I had Josh Allen throwing for more than 270 passing yards and Baker Mayfield having more than 2.5 passing touchdowns, and boom, I won on both. Building your lineups on PrizePicks is fast, simple, and honestly extremely fun. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and if you're right, you win. What's even better is that PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still win even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Plus, they've even got this thing called injury reboots, so if a player goes down in the first half, it won't count against you. And PrizePicks operates in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. So download the app today and use code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right.
That's
guys,
mean.
What's that?
That's mean.
Question is for you. What do you think about this? How do you think Superman's ultimately going to do on streaming? Because remember, the movie coming out, it came out in an environment when everybody hated DC now. I mean, the whole audience had given up on DC. None of their movies weren't even making $200 million at the box office. It came out and we say, okay, now we'll see. Did it establish a reputation? Did it get word of mouth? How's it going to perform once it gets to VOD? It broke records on VOD. Now, how's it going to perform on streaming? I don't know. How do you think it's going to do? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.